This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
Are all batteries the same? That's like asking if all soccer players are the same. Take Messi, the most decorated player ever. Is there any other player who has achieved that? No, just him. Now take Duracell. Is there any other battery with power boost ingredients inside? No, just Duracell. Remember, goats only trust goats because they're built different. And Messi only trusts Duracell.
Correa with the cross, and this time on the ball, lets it count. Spain have their lead. Spain, is there something on the end of all this? Yes, there is. You bet there is. 2-0. Pedro Porro and the Spaniards pull away. Correa's ball in, and Oyarzabal is there again. The flag has stayed down, and Spain coast into the round of 16.
After review, Croatia player number 13 holds his opponent with 2 arms, declaring the final decision penalty.
Cristiano Ronaldo at 41 for Portugal! Ronaldo's first ever knockout stage goal. Rafael Leao, that deep ball in, and it's a splendid header in added time at the end for Portugal. Radicic was waiting, Matanovic, and is it going to go in? It does! It's remarkable!
Croatia player number 20 touched the ball and headed to the goal scorer. Final decision, offside.
Progress for Portugal by the skin of their teeth.
Live from New York. It's a show that hasn't yet been invited to Travis and Taylor's wedding. I think it's today, and maybe we're like, on will call or something. The tickets will be there, or
no, we got invited.
We did.
Yeah, but we have, we're Brew worked for the Gray Lady. We're journalists.
Oh,
we can't sign the NDAs.
That's right.
We can't. I respectfully declined on the show's behalf. I didn't want to put Brew in a bad spot.
That's true.
Brew can't.
I like Travis a lot. Not that interested in going though. I mean,
that's the other thing.
Have a good time.
Oh, I was gonna go. I got
to tell you, it conflicted with what has been my schedule for the last 3 weeks. Just watching 10 hours of soccer every day. Just eyes bleeding watching. When is this Switzerland game?
Yeah, I think so.
At Madison Square Garden, bro.
I know it was at the Garden.
Yeah. First hour, first things first. Today, Messi in action tonight. Will his goal streak continue? One person here says no. Wait till you hear this take coming up. Meanwhile, LeBron to New York. Is there a chance he joins the champs?
Oh, my.
Ends up playing where Travis and Taylor are getting married. And finally, who's got the largest slice of title pie? Is it France? Will we have a pie? And will Argentina be going home?
Stop. Argentina going home tonight?
Tonight?
Stop, buddy.
Upset alert?
I mean, that would be great for Brazil and really clear out a whole quadrant of the bracket.
It's very
It'd be awesome for Brazil.
It'd be awesome for Brazil. That opens it all up for them.
Alongside Chris Broussard, Kevin Wilds, Nick Wright, some new lights. I feel like I'm better lit.
Wow. You always look great. I don't know if the lights are new or
definitely new.
Brighter.
It feels different.
Definitely new. Starting Toronto. Croatia scores first, but Ronaldo evens the game on a successful PK. Portugal jumps ahead in extra time. And then in the 102nd minute, a ball pressure offsides takes the goal off the board. If Croatia had missed this header completely, the goal would have stood. But since it grazed his hair and registered a blip of pressure, call it like a heartbeat monitor, it was offside, no goal, and Croatia and Luka Modric go home. Were Ronaldo and Portugal lucky to advance, Nick?
It's interesting because the first 30 minutes of the game, Croatia was lucky not to be down 2-0. Portugal dominated the first half, but it wasn't showing up on the score sheet.
Right.
But the second half, Croatia dominated them, and they, that goal got called off. Another goal got called off by offsides. That was very, very close.
It was 4 goals,
right?
called off
And
offsides, 2-2, right?
Correct. And I thought one of the Portuguese goals was a blatant offsides, and the 2 Croatian goals were very, very close. And so listen. Luka Modric and, relatively speaking, this small country of Croatia had made back-to-back semifinals. They had made a final. He's the oldest legend. He's older than Ronaldo. He's the oldest guy in the tournament. And to have their guts ripped out like that, along with mine, my hot streak came to an end.
I'm sorry.
I had Croatia. Croatia just plus a half
ripped
goal.
Out or a pocket.
Well, you know what?
Wallet
They're connected.
ripped out.
They're connected, bro. And so that, there were some lucky elements to it. But my biggest takeaway from the game was Portugal is now officially a very dangerous team.
Wow.
Because their manager, Roberto Martinez, had the courage to take Ronaldo out in what could have been the final game of his career. Right. Like if they lose, it's over. Potential final game of his career for Portugal. It worked out. His replacement scored, and I think all of us saw how much better they look when they have their best players on the field and not trying to play through Ronaldo. And I think now you're going to potentially, in their next game against Spain, he's going to be more willing to do that. And if Portugal...
To take him out?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's still going to start him.
But do you think he would have taken him out before he scored a goal?
I probably not, but now he has scored a goal in a knockout round. That, you know what I mean? That box has been checked, and now they're trying to win the damn World Cup.
And he took him out in a tie game.
Correct.
So
he wasn't into it.
No, he
celebrated the goal, but he was not into it at the moment.
And so I just think I think they crossed that Rubicon, Brew, of that we can take this guy out if the game demands it. They won in large part because of that. I text my buddy who I also bet Croatia with me. The moment Ronaldo came out, I said, we're going to lose. I said, Portugal, one of the reasons I didn't believe in Portugal was I thought he hurt them, and I thought he was hurting them yesterday. Yeah. The penalty is fine, whatever. He's a great penalty taker still. And so, I think they are a little lucky, but I also think now they're quite dangerous.
And it wasn't his direct sub that scored the goal. Right?
No,
he was in before,
But it was one of the subs.
It was a group of 4 they sent in a little earlier. He was one of those. But I do agree with your analysis of the Ronaldo situation. I'm sure he'll start him in the next game against Spain, but I think he'll be can take him out earlier because he took him out in, like I said, a tie game. But no, I don't think they got lucky. Croatia is a very good team. It was a tough, hard-fought game, just like I expected. But I think Portugal clearly showed they're a slightly better team. And this graphic shows in the statistics, more expected goals, possession is pretty significant.
I love duels.
Won, that's important. So, and then you talk about the late goal taken away from Croatia. We could talk about that goal taken away from Ronaldo.
Yes.
That second goal, which I was talking with Josh about it earlier. If you just had the eye test, if there were just referees up in the box looking at it, I think you would have given that goal to him. It was by a hair, but the VAR is so precise that it showed he clearly was offside.
So that was crazy precise. And then so this was, I would have said that by the feeling of the law, that's onside to me.
Yeah, because especially think about the NFL rule where it's like, it's too close to overturn. Yeah. That would have been in
none of that here.
Yeah, and that was a great play by Ronaldo. But so I just think with all those things considered, again, it was what I expected. I thought Croatia had a good chance to win. I picked Portugal in a tough game, and that's what it was. So, no, I don't think they got lucky. It was just a hard-fought win.
I do think that the second storyline here is replays, VAR. I want to see where you land on it. I will read you. We just saw a bruise VAR. Where it's like, okay, his elbow or something was offsides. This is from FIFA Media about the final goal. IMU sensors housed within the Trianda ball are capable of determining any slight contact, displaying to viewers in the broadcast as a, quote, heartbeat graphic, and allowing officials an unprecedented level of data to make fast, accurate decisions. It did kind of hit him.
But this is my issue. I have a lot of issues with replay in sports, not the least of which is fitness and endurance, and being able to play continuously is a huge part of this sport, and the delays and caused by the reviews impact the game. They alter it in a way because it's like we have these stoppages, they're free timeouts, all of that. But my other issue, and this is one Brew and I have sometimes agreed on, sometimes disagreed on, is I have a different definition of getting things right than I think some people. I do not think that because of technology, being able to say, for the entirety of the history of this sport, we wouldn't have known that grazed his hair. Now we do. So the fact this would have been a goal for 200 years of soccer, it's not now. I don't think that's getting it right. I think that.
But it literally is.
So I know that's what you always say. You always say no. So that's where I. So that's again.
You can just say spirit of the game or something like that.
I'm acknowledging that like I said, I have a different definition of right than I think some people do. I think that if the technology advances far past. This could be a constitutional argument almost. If technology advances so far past where it was when the rules were written, you are not getting it right by applying the written rules to the new technology. And so that's where this is why I have just always had a hard and fast line. I do not like replay in sports. Yes, you do occasionally fix an obvious, egregious error. And in those instances, we say, thank goodness we had it. But far more often, to me, you have rules. The offsides rule was written to prevent cherry picking. You know what I mean? To prevent guys from just hanging out by the goal. They're like, we can't have that. And now the mission creep of, you have to draw a line somewhere. We have drawn the line, and the other thing is, I don't know that I fully think the technology's infallible. It's like, the VAR sensor says this, that they tell us there's a thing in the ball. They showed us that heartbeat monitor. You know when the heartbeat monitor doesn't move at all? When it bounces off the dude's back right after it. So I don't know, was it turned off for a second? That to me seemed like a recreation, not an actual, this is what the monitor's showing us, because it shows no other spikes. The ball gets kicked a quarter second later. It stays flat. I don't like it.
Wallet talking.
No. I say this, that's not fair. I say this about replay across the board. I don't think it makes the games better.
It's happened in you can see it in, I think it's happened in tennis, where the ball is in because the compression of the ball when it strikes, it hits the line. But you would always call it out, but the ball compresses and then it's on the line. So it's weird.
It can steal great moments. How about that? It can definitely. That would have been a great moment, and you're right. Historically, it would have been.
Can I ask you one quick question on the right or wrong thing?
Yeah.
I'm going to take one of these balls we have, and I'm going to pretend we're playing basketball. Okay. And I've used this example before.
But this is a good example.
I have the ball. I'm going to KW, knock it out of my hands, if you will. Just slap it down. At you. Just slap it down. Down. Slap it down.
Yeah.
So he knocks it out of my hands.
Right.
For all of basketball, all of our lives.
Who hit it out?
That's out on him. You agree? I have it, he slaps it, it goes out of bounds. That's always been out on him. What we have learned because of replay is actually quite often it's not.
No, of course.
Quite often because it goes off the bottom of my pinky.
Right.
I don't think it is getting it right to call that out on me.
You're trying to change the definition of right.
Well, I think that.
But do you think that should on that?
Whoever it hit last, yeah.
But so do you? I guess my question would be, if the technology existed now when the rules were written, would the rules be written in a different way? Would they not have said it's whoever it touched last? It's whose forcible contact pushed. You know what I mean? Because that's supposed to be out on
that makes sense.
Does
I
that?
don't
That's
know
the
if it's
point
supposed to. I mean, it's who. Look, they can change the rules if they want. They could, if it really bothered the NBA in that situation, they could easily rewrite the rules and say, whoever forces the ball out or whatever. I don't think that. If it hit your hand last, it's out on you.
I guarantee you, bro, if we were
5
on 5 and I did that,
First
you
of all,
wouldn't be like,
y'all
you know
not
what?
slapping the ball out of my hands like that.
It'd be embarrassing. I slap it, it just doesn't move. You just got it like Saquon Barkley. Okay. Meanwhile, in LA, Spain cruised to a victory over Austria 3-0. They still haven't conceded a goal, bro, en route to booking a date with the aforementioned Portugal. Headline in The Athletic: Spain breezed past Austria into the last 16. Are they starting to look like France's only real challengers? Here's the numbers. 68% possession, best. Goals allowed, 0, tied for Mexico for the best. Opponent shots on target, only 3, it's second best. And high turnovers, 43, basically forcing turnovers, getting the ball back. That is best. Is Spain proving they can win it all, bro?
Yes, I said the other day France is the best team in the tournament or in the world, but that doesn't mean they're going to win the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I do still think France is the best team, but Spain absolutely can win this tournament. They're not that far away from France, and in a one and done, anything can happen. And I think, Nick, Spain has the best defense in the tournament. They haven't allowed a goal. Yesterday, Austria doesn't even get a shot on goal, And then they've got great offense. And Yamal I think he played well, but he hasn't really scored. He scored 1 goal in the whole tournament. And the other guy,
I said it wrong.
Oyarzabal. He's got 4 goals in the tournament. He's picking up the slack, had a brace yesterday. So we talked earlier in the week about how, as great as France is, potentially their defense is a weakness.
Correct.
There's no weakness on it. Now, I don't think Spain's front line is as strong, obviously, as France's is, but I also don't think Spain has a weakness. I think their defense obviously is great, and then offensively, they're great. Not as great as France, but they're great too. So, yeah, I think they've got a great chance. And I do think Yamal is going to start scoring as this tournament goes on as well.
So these graphics I'm about to show you on expected goals, I think speaks to, there's 2 reasons Spain's, I think, been maybe a little underrated. One is how they started the tournament with the draw against Cape Verde.
Absolutely.
And the other is because similar, I would argue, to the other awesome team that can win it that's underrated, Brazil, their biggest strength might be the fact that you can't score on them rather than that they score. So if you see expected goals leaders in this tournament, what you're going to see, turns out Brazil can score too. You see Brazil, France, Canada, a lot of that's the Qatar game. Like that's skewing a lot of Canada's stats.
Yeah.
Switzerland and Belgium. These are among the teams that are, in the round of 16 already. But the flip side is expected goals allowed. Spain is running away with it, 0.9. So when you look at the leaders of expected goal difference, like soccer's version of point differential, Spain leads the tournament. So that's the argument. So even though they haven't had as prolific of an offense,
different,
so expected goals that they would have scored minus expected goals they would have allowed, Spain has the best number.
I wanted Spain a little bit on the, like how you said, Canada, Qatar skewed it, just because I've been digging in on Cape Verde. They didn't, that initial goal, that initial game against Spain, they were like, let's just try to draw.
Correct.
It's just
and so, so I absolutely think they can win the tournament. I also think they can lose next round to Portugal.
Oh, yeah.
Portugal beat them to win the Nations League. And we have, Spain's unbeaten streak is, to me, a touch overrated in this regard. The last 14 teams they've played are outside of the world's top 25, leading for this winning streak. So when have they lost? They lost in PKs to Portugal before that 14-game streak. They did beat France, an amazing game, 5-4, so both teams scoring. They drew with Netherlands twice. When have they lost, right? They lost to Colombia in a friendly. The last times they lost games that mattered, they lost to Scotland in a qualifier for Euros. Mm-hmm. In the World Cup, they lost to Morocco and they lost to Japan. So they are obviously one of the best teams in the world. I think they went into this tournament ranked number 2 in the world and with the second best odds. They have been, I think, flying under the radar a bit, but I also think. And the injuries. Yeah, the injuries. And your guy,
Nico Williams.
Nico, I almost said Harrison. I almost said Nico Harrison. Nico Williams, yes, injured again, seems really, it doesn't seem optimistic about his ability to come back. But I think that Spain could absolutely be in the final. And Spain also can just lose to Portugal. I think Spain's really bummed out that Portugal won that game and won it in the fashion that they did. Because I don't think Spain was going to be that worried about Croatia.
Spain-Portugal will be Monday at 3 Eastern in Dallas. Finally, today at 6, Messi back in action. Argentina taking on Cape Verde on Fox. Messi has scored in every game he's played. Last game, he only had 1 goal. It's kind of a rarity after he came on as a sub. Messi's multi-goal games in his career. His first 25 games, I'll score 1 goal and keep it moving, Last 4 games, he's had 3 with at least 2 goals.
Yes, incredible.
Is anyone predicting another multi-score game from Messi?
It's certainly possible. I mean, the run he's on is incredible. 7 straight World Cup games where he scored, I believe?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to score, I'm going to say 1. Cape Verde, look, they had a 0-0 draw with Spain, so you can say their defense is tough. Yamal wasn't.
He came on at the very end.
Yeah,
I can tell you every single thing that happened in that game. Trust me, I was locked in.
So he was, it was not truly Spain, but I think their defense is tough. And it's just hard to see this streak continuing. Not that Messi is not capable, but, my goodness, you can't score 2 goals every game. I get it, he had 1 last
game.
But
he only played a half hour.
Yeah, exactly. So I think he'll get 1. Wouldn't be surprised at all if he gets another brace.
So I've never seen anything in the soccer betting markets like Messi's odds to score. He's minus 230 to score in this game. Yeah. So that's what they're saying is he's close to 70% to score. He is around a coin flip odds to score twice. That has not happened in a World Cup field before. But that is in part because for folks that haven't, and this is no judgment here, if you're 30 years old watching this World Cup, we haven't had a World Cup, in time zones that work for, unless you want to wake up, since you were a teenager. If you're younger, since you were a little kid. So for a lot of people, this is the first World Cup they've been dialed into.
Sure.
The scoring by the stars in this World Cup is so anomalous, I wanted to just show it to everyone. So here are this year's Golden Boot leaders. Messi's got 6, Mbappe's got 6, Haaland's got 5, Harry Kane's got 5, Vinny Jr., Dembele, and the guy whose name I said I couldn't pronounce earlier, Oyarzabal, they all have 4. Thank you, bro. So again, some of these guys haven't even played their first knockout round game. They're at 4 to 6 goals. Here is what the Golden Boot winners of the last 6 World Cups had. 8, 5, 5, 6, 6, 8. So, to win the Golden Boot, historically, 6 goals, you got a real shot at it. Here is the most goals scored in a World Cup in history. It's, again, only 5 times ever has someone scored more than 8. Right now,
13.
Well, yeah, I asked Josh about that. Josh told us, Josh, sorry, you're going to get mad. Josh called him a one-hit wonder.
He was a terrible.
Josh Fontaine? No, he didn't. He didn't call him a one-hit wonder. He said, that was that guy's like one. He just went crazy in this World Cup.
Well, it was a good run.
Still, point is this. The scoring more, this is every instance of someone scoring more than 8 goals in a World Cup. I understand this World Cup's going to have one extra game. I get that. But how many guys do we think are going to score at least 8? Messi and Mbappe, obviously. If you think England's going to keep advancing, I don't. You probably think Harry Kane's got a real shot. I think Vinny Jr. is going to. Mm-hmm. And I think the way Argentina runs their team, let's put it like this. Argentina scores 3 goals today, in theory. You'd be shocked if Messi didn't have multiple.
Yeah, it'd be surprising.
You know what I mean? When they run their team, that when he's out there, they try to run through him.
I wonder if it's a larger, it's more of a podcast topic with soccer experts. If this is a larger style of play, is it a
you mean with just Messi or all these?
Well, just having a focal point where it's like England's going to run through Harry Kane. France is a little bit different.
No, a lot of
Argentina runs is it stylistically
I would think
a soccer
if I were the opponent,
50s?
I would try to take Messi out of the game.
Very challenging.
Make somebody else beat us. Right, obviously, but make somebody else beat us.
Last week or the start of the World Cup, I asked the producers to hit the lights because I had an upset alert. Curacao over Germany. It didn't work out. Ended up losing 7-1. That being said, Cape Verde,
it would be
it's
great.
Not an upset alert, but it's an alert to the alert. Does that make sense? This should be an alert. It's tangential to alert. We just talked about, literally 7 minutes ago, you're like, Spain might be the best team in the entire tournament. Oh, they didn't have Yamal. Well, Yamal had some good nutmegs, but he wasn't. Spain is good enough to be a great team without Yamal.
But they were missing a few other guys, too.
Well, one of them they're going to be missing.
Nico.
Now we're talking about
now we're talking.
It was 0-0. Vizinha has been playing out of his mind. Saudi Arabia is not a great team. 0-0 against Saudi Arabia. So statistics have him being the seventh best goalie in the whole tournament. Messi hasn't played a goalie and a top 7 goalie according to goalie stats yet. 1 goal would be nice. Tangential upset for Cape Verde.
Let me ask you this.
Tangential upset. Not an upset. I'm not calling an upset
I think
alert.
what's necessary for an upset alert or an alert to an upset alert
Thank you.
is that you really think Cape Verde could win. I don't mean anything is possible, all that stuff.
I just mean in a David or Goliath, we have seen the goaltending performance of the World Cup was Vizinha against Spain. Can he do it again? Can he do it again?
Because the last time KW sold us this, what was the final score?
We were knotted up. Well, now Germany's on. And guess what happened to Germany?
What was
their
the final
coach
score?
just quit.
It was 7-1.
Australia, Egypt. This afternoon from Dallas.
I got Egypt.
3 hours, 32 minutes. We'll see how fit Mo Salah is. Subbed out of the game pretty early. Australia, I might get back in on Australia. When we were playing them in the group stage, I was a little bit upset at them. 3 hours, 32 minutes, 35 seconds from Dallas.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
Tonight, Messi back in Miami, 7 hours, 28 minutes. Argentina taking on Cape Verde. Cape Verde, huh? Isn't that the team that got outshot 27-6 against Spain, ended up saving all the shots and drew 0-0? Could that happen again? Some people are saying maybe.
I'm just
be on alert. Just be on alert. It's not an upset alert.
More likely, Cape Verde wins or Argentina wins by 4 or more.
Hey, it's called.
No, I'm asking.
It's called
you have to
David
answer
and
that.
Goliath.
Just
Is there
tell
a
me-
chance Goliath
That's not
stomps
strong.
out David? Of course there is. Yes, of course. He's a giant.
I gave you a huge delta.
David's got a rock.
Okay.
That's all he's got.
Trying to appeal to Brew.
Yeah, Brew loves it.
Trying to get me on the side.
Brew on his side. It's unfair. Dirty fool.
LeBron would be going to New York if the Knicks hadn't won the title, according to LeBron's agent, Rich Paul, on the Game Over podcast. Here he is with Max Kellerman. Take a listen.
I think it's difficult, right? Because the last thing you want to do is mess up something like that, right? The Knicks has a good thing going. That'll be. If the Knicks hadn't have won, there would be no board.
He'd be going to the Knicks.
He'd be going to the Knicks. Jalen Brunson would literally have to pick up the phone and say, hey, man, it's no issue with me. It's no issue with me.
We don't know if Jalen Brunson's going to do that, but should LeBron consider New York?
No, they shouldn't even be on the board.
Oh.
And even if Jalen Brunson called him, because it's not about what Jalen Brunson thinks. It's about there is no upside for LeBron beyond the self-satisfaction you get from competing and winning the championship. But outside of that, public image, legacy, there's no upside because they just won the championship. There are some people that would say this is worse than Kevin Durant going to Golden State. And even to this day, some people, Clyde Frazier said a few years ago, there's an asterisk by Kevin Durant's championships. So there are people that still hold him going to Miami against him. He's not as competitive as Kobe and Jordan and those guys because he went to Miami. This would just add fuel to that fire. And there really is a big downside. I don't think the Knicks are going to win it next year just because I think they're a great team, got on a great run, and it's difficult in this day and age to repeat. Other teams, San Antonio most notably, are coming up. But everybody doesn't feel that way, and everybody doesn't know that. Mm-hmm. And if LeBron were to go there and they don't win the championship, then everybody's going to put it on LeBron, right? Even if it's not his fault, they're going to put it on LeBron. Oh, he came. We had a championship team. We should have ran it back with what we had, even though they lost a few guys. And so I don't think they should even be in consideration. And it seems like from Rich
agrees with you.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Rich basically said in different words what you said, because Max was trying to sell Rich on it.
Right,
Max
I think the Knicks fan.
Max wants LeBron there. And Rich made the point, he's like, listen, LeBron's just held to a different standard.
Absolutely.
And I think you and I get a little, not sideways, but when I compare LeBron's Lakers tenure to the other 10 years across the league, and you make the point, well, he's not Joker, he's not Giannis, right. He's in the GOAT conversation. I think LeBron, holding old LeBron to a, human standard as opposed to superhuman standard to me is fair. But legacy LeBron is held to that standard, and that's what Rich is talking about.
Right.
To me, the most notable things to come of this pod, one was what Rich said right there. He was going to go to New York if they didn't win the title.
That was
like, wow. Mm-hmm. Like that is news, and that is, now maybe he's overstating it a little bit, but Rich just flatly said it. Like
if I can, if that indeed is the case, and like you say, he's not overstating, it was like that was a done deal in his mind. Yeah. I think that was because if he wins, they're close.
Yes.
Most everybody thought, they're close. They're not going to win it.
Yes.
If he would have went there and they would have won it, which they could have obviously with him, I think honestly, Nick, a lot of people on the Jordan side of the GOAT debate, yes, a lot of them would have moved to this side because New York, 53 years drought.
What's everything in New York?
54
Wilds.
Everything is magnified.
That's the truth. Half the media that influences this stuff is from New York.
So that to me was like a wow. And it also, the other thing Rich said, and then I want to show the whiteboard, was Rich said the point that I have been trying to make repeatedly, which is LeBron has not said this is his last year. And LeBron's, historically, he said, and your buddy, Yaron Weitzman's book, he talked about how everywhere he's gone, give him 2 years and he'll win a title. Like, give me first year, figure it out, and win the title. And so I have been assuming whatever place he decides to go to, he is zeroed in on what can we be this year and next year, which is why this whiteboard image is awesome, and this could be the whole 2-hour show. So what you have there is top left. I'm gonna go through it so everybody can see
with all my heart.
Steph and Dre, top left, but they don't have anything else there. Kerr's not even listed, kind of a diss to him. Beneath it, it says Dallas and Masai. And then it says under that, oil, golf, Macau, which is the casinos that the Adelsteins own, the Sands in Macau, and then Africa, which I think is Masai's connection to NBA Africa. Yeah. I'm just telling you what it says.
That's about loot.
Right, yeah, of course. That's the oil money and being in Dallas, Macau, the casinos things, like that's money. Then it says Brad and Tatum, so that's Boston. I'll go to the far right real quick. Well, no, actually I won't. Then we have Philly, Maxey with a star next to him. A star.
Because a clutch guy.
Correct. Edgecombe, Brown, Embiid. Edgecombe misspelled, but that's right.
I mean, that's a great even without Embiid. I just think Embiid is going to be problematic because he's in and out, but that's a great team.
Miami, Mitchell, Wiggins, Giannis, Bam. Minnesota, Ant, Melo. Wow. If I'm Carmelo, I'm like, come on, bro. Come on, Rich. McDaniel, Gobert. Denver.
That's a good team.
Gets a whole pop out. Murray, Cam Johnson, Gordon, Jokic.
Any of those are great.
Cavs, Mitchell, Harden, Mobley, Allen. Now let's go to the Cavs.
Weems.
It says Dan and I forget it's like front office guys.
Kobe Altman.
Yeah, Kobe Altman, and then Weems, his buddy.
Yep.
And then it says no Garland with a minus sign. Because LeBron, but also Rich said like LeBron likes Garland, almost mostly likes Maxey. If you watch it, Spurs, it just says Spurs with an underline. With the Nuggets, I should have said off to the side is Kroenke, the owner, who he's friends with, and then just New York is listed, but with nothing else. So I think we've got LeBron's list, guys.
This is just. Can I just say a quick sidebar?
Yeah.
This is just great podcasting.
Yeah.
By Rich and Max.
Yeah.
And also, like, get me the extendable metal pointer. It's like a teacher. It's just A+.
So if this is, Brew, I know you want, I don't want to say you want him to go to the Spurs. You think that's the smartest.
I don't want him to go to the Spurs.
Oh, okay.
I want him to go to Cleveland.
Okay, so the Spurs you think is the smartest.
If he goes to the Spurs, they're winning a championship. I think all of these are incredible options. The Nuggets would have a great shot. Not as guaranteed to me as the Spurs. Minnesota would have a great shot.
What do you think of Philly?
They'd have a great
Philly,
shot. They'd have a great shot. I just think it is tough when a great player is kind of in, especially a 7-foot post player at times, is in and out because you got to play two different ways. But Miami would be. I think Denver and Minnesota would be good spots just to win it. But San Antonio is guaranteed.
Minnesota.
I think he'd be great.
Odd.
Look at those four. Look at those names. Put LeBron in there. You don't think that's like?
Again, and I've been harping on this. The chemistry and friendship of the Knicks, I think, took them to the next level. Ant, Melo, McDaniel, Gobert, and LeBron just seem like guys that
have no connective.
There's no connective tissue between them. I don't know. It's a team that doesn't feel like it feels like a band playing different types of songs.
Can we throw that picture back up?
They'd be great.
I had one other major takeaway from this. I don't think the Warriors right now have much of a shot.
No.
The Warriors are just.
Unless they were getting AD.
Right.
That's it.
And
that not that if he's trying to win a championship or at least wants that of serious consideration.
And as far as let me ask you one other thing. I know the Wizards like Anthony Davis untouchable. I do wonder about if the Cavs created an Allen-centered trade for Anthony Davis. if the Wizards are interested in that and if that moves the needle for LeBron.
Would you even? I mean, look, obviously AD is better than Jared Allen. But there is obviously the injury concern.
I agree.
And Allen is what he is.
I still think he raises the ceiling enough that and
healthy. There's no question.
And we obviously know those guys work together. I don't know. I just find this to be fascinating, and I do not think we're going to let me say this. I think we will find out who won the World Cup before we find out where LeBron's playing next year.
I think that's a solid bet.
I
don't think LeBron. Oh, it's Team USA going on. By the way, I'm signing.
That's if he doesn't know right now where he's going in his own mind. This could all be a smokescreen.
Sure.
Oh, he's considering all these places, but he may know already.
Coming up, a lot of people are saying this might be Messi's last game in the World Cup if Cabo Verde can hold them to 0-0 and win. Not a tremendous don't get me wrong. It's Messi in Miami, 7 hours and 17 minutes on Fox, taking on darlings of the World Cup, Cape Verde.
This summer, serve up the Cookout Classics, Heinz Ketchup, and Kraft Singles. Every good burger needs a layer of perfectly melty cheese and thick, rich ketchup. We all know it's not a cookout without Heinz and Kraft.
Top performance presented by Capital One. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Ronaldo scored, also got subbed out. Portugal facing Spain on Monday. Dax, do you have more faith in Portugal after this close win?
I certainly do not.
Oh.
Do not have more faith in Portugal after this performance. Wow. I thought that they were good in the first half. I thought that was more down to Croatia and a more conservative game plan. Second half, I thought, again, Nick, correct, Croatia was the better team. And I fall back on Portugal with the same things that have concerned me with them in this entire tournament, is that their midfield, which I said before, was the best midfield in the tournament. Mm-hmm. And part of that was predicated on the fact that João Neves and Vitinha play together at PSG, and they are easily the best team in world football, right? Back-to-back Champions League winners. They don't look the same when they play for Portugal.
Why?
I still believe Portugal's biggest issue is there is a lack of balance in midfield. And so when these two midfield players play with PSG, they play with an extremely mobile front four. Guys changing positions all over the field. This Portugal team, they are very stagnant in the attack. And so Ronaldo did his job. He scored a goal. And I don't necessarily believe that if you bring in or start Giancarlo Ramos, that anything would be very different. But this is a team that's extremely stagnant in attack. They get to the final third, no problem. They dominate possession, but they lack risk in their play. They lack ingenuity in the final third, which is surprising because of all the great midfielders that they have. They have too many similar profile players. And Roberto Martinez, we talk about coaching all the time. Ancelotti, Pochettino, Deschamps. They are absolutely earning their paychecks in this tournament, showing why when you make big tactical decisions, that is going to help you win games. I don't think Roberto Martinez does the same for Portugal. He made 4 substitutions yesterday when they were down a goal, and they actually got worse. They actually lost more control of the midfield. They got the penalty kick. And then when he subbed out Ronaldo and added another midfielder into the team to get them back control, he corrected his mistake. But I just don't believe at the highest level that Roberto Martinez is setting his team up to win. And then in-game adjustments, I just believe that there are better coaches when they play better teams that are going to expose this Portugal team.
So my answer to this is drastically more faith. Because I, and you can tell me I'm wrong on this.
Sure.
But my inclination is so much of what you're describing as why the midfielders who play together for PSG don't look the same, and why they have no problem getting to the final third, but then have problems,
creating chances,
right,
creating real chances. Real quick, Ronaldo, first 2 games he had 15 touches in the box against weaker opposition. The last 2 games, he's had 3 touches in the opponent's box against stronger opposition, and I don't necessarily think that's a Ronaldo problem. I think that is an all-inclusive lack of cohesion amongst the midfield and the strikers.
So I guess that's where we differ, and you're the expert. But for me watching it, it does feel like that Ronaldo, as you hypothesized before the tournament, might be holding them back, has been holding them back.
Yep.
And Roberto Martinez having the courage yesterday in a tied game that could be Ronaldo's final World Cup game ever.
I was
shocked. Put him to take him off. You know what was also shocked? Ronaldo. To take him off the field, then watch that work, see them win. That if you were to I'm not trying to, he's one of the, at worst, 5 greatest players in the history of the sport, and a lot of people think he's the best player in the history of the sport. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to what the man's accomplished. But I think there are some people that if he had been subbed out because he pulled his hamstring and we're like, oh, he's done for the tournament, they would have more faith in Portugal.
Correct.
That because of how they
I don't think that's
look without him.
Yeah.
And now I just feel like Roberto Martinez has broken the seal on, I'm allowed to take this guy out.
Right.
I'm allowed to do what I think is best. Right. And you add to it that their best moment as a club came against Spain, beating them to win the Nations League, right?
Sure, yeah.
And that's who they play next. All of a sudden, I picked Croatia to win this game, and I thought Croatia would then just get clocked by Spain. I think Portugal's a 40-60 dog against Spain. I think they're very live to win that game. And so that's why I do have more faith, because I think they can pull the plug on Ronaldo if they feel they need to.
The problem is you haven't seen Portugal have to play against a team that is going to dominate possession against them.
Right.
And so that,
buckle up, you're about to.
That presents a significantly different task for Roberto Martinez.
Let me ask you this, Dax, because I agree with Nick that there's a better chance that they'll get Ronaldo out early. I think they're clearly going to start him, but get him out earlier and maybe have some more athletic guys up front. He's very inactive as far as I can tell. How big of a part, you talked about them not really attacking, being stagnant in their attack. It looks to me like a lot of that is just because he's not really moving at times, maybe even getting in guys' way, but he's just kind of staying in that little mid-range that he stays in his part of the field. How much of that stagnant attack is him?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think two things can be true. I think that there are times where he makes certain runs and certain movements, and his midfield players, they don't either see it or they don't want to play it because they're scared of losing the ball. Those 3 midfield players, Vitinha, Bruno Fernandes, and João Neves, their pass completion percentage is in the 90s, mid-90s. But there's not enough risk in their play. Sometimes you have to take a risk in order to create a chance. And so I think it's a little bit of both. Ronaldo, he is a little bit more stagnant, but when he is in and around the box, his movement in the box is still very good. And if he gets chances, as he did against Uzbekistan, he's still a very high-level finisher. So I do think it's a little bit of a problem with the midfield. I think your wingers have to do a little bit more, which I thought Rafa Leao actually was their most dangerous player. And so I think he needs to start because he provides them something different. But I think it's both. I think it's a little bit of both, Brew.
Dax, you're crushing this, dude. You're doing a great job. Does France have the largest slice of title pie? And we're counting down to Messi in Miami. Dax, quickly, since I said you've been crushing it. Who had the best goalkeeper performance so far in the World Cup, would you say?
Bozinha!
Against Spain, and he's the goalkeeper for Cape Verde. Oh, my gosh.
Are they on upset alert?
They are absolutely not.
Oh, wow. Another doubter.
Hater.
Pace Checkout is offered by your banks and credit unions. So when you shop online at participating merchants, your cards appear in one place, ready to use and kept up to date. And the best part, your actual card number isn't shared when you check out. Because boundaries are healthy, like no work emails after 6. One small step for boundaries, one big leap for checkout. Pace. It checks out. Activation required. See Pace.com to learn more. Terms and conditions apply.
Live from New York. It's a show that is not saying it's an upset alert, okay? No one's saying it's an upset alert. We're not saying it's an upset alert. But just keep your eye on Cape Verde, Argentina today.
We need to get you a Cape Verde jersey.
Here's what I really want. Give us 30 seconds here, and this is what I was trying to get to earlier.
Yes.
And you don't gamble, so we could just do a lunch or something friendly.
Yeah.
If I give you Cape Verde to win, for you to win, for me to win, Argentina by 4 or more, is that a fair bet?
Wow.
I'm not bet. I'm just
All
going
right,
for
I think that's a fair
You
bet.
got to take that.
I'm just going for the
Four or more. The win by 4 or more.
I don't want. I'm
It's
just
like
going for
50
the
points in
love
basketball.
of the game.
You will take the stat.
I'm not betting
the
on
two
Cape
out.
Verde.
But again,
I want to watch
you certainly would if I said
unencumbered.
100 or more. You certainly think Cape Verde is more likely to win than to lose by 100.
That's not the way we're approaching this game. That's not the way we're approaching the game.
All right.
Just Vizinha, he's 40 years old.
He needs a statue.
The David and Goliath.
Stop trying
David
to
and Goliath.
All right.
to get Bruce
You
on
had
your
me
side.
at David.
Luka and the new look Lakers. Can this team contend? Meanwhile, is Brazil on upset alert against Holland? That one's real. Erling Haaland, not the.
Yeah, they're playing Norway.
And is England going home? They're flying into Mexico City today.
Is there a competition going on
Wait, they're
for the
flying
best
in today
celebration?
now, KW?
Dax.
There should be.
These guys
There
are
should
getting
be.
into it now.
I read they're flying in Friday, but I'll be honest with you. If you read something different,
No, I'm basing it off what you told
I'm
me.
not totally locked
I
in.
thought you said they were only going in a day before. Okay, so that'd be.
But it's been made as conflicting reports. But right now, of course, it's time to find out which teams are cooking, which teams are cooked, and which teams have the recipe for success. It's a World Cup edition of Title Pie, and because we're on in the morning, we have a circular coffee cake,
Which
as our
really
pie.
is delicious. That
You
is.
had some?
I had
hate
some of that
sweets.
yesterday. Last week.
We smartly bought 2 pies because it's so delicious. We just eat up the
Everybody
first
eats
one.
it. Yeah.
I'm going to eat Francis slice with my hands, but that's not going to be my take.
Get Dax some of that.
I eat numerous pieces every time we do this. That's why I don't eat breakfast.
Out of respect to the tournament
Yeah.
and the teams remaining, I understand we don't officially have the final 16 left. There are 19 teams left. I made the executive decision that if you're still in the World Cup and we're in the first week of July, your flag's getting on the screen.
That's nice.
Now, some of them are in a less than 1% category, but they're still on the screen.
But you're saying there's a chance.
I'm saying there's
You're
less
saying
than 1%.
there's a chance.
Seems
Okay,
like
but here we
seems
go.
like a participation
Less than,
trophy.
you know what?
Yeah.
You know what?
Here we go.
That's-
I don't even think they can win it all, but you're saying there's a chance.
1%.
Wow, Cape Verde's there.
Canada,
Congratulations.
Paraguay,
You
Cape
gave us a
Verde,
chance.
Australia, Ghana, Egypt. By the way, at least one of these teams is guaranteed to actually make the final 16 because Australia is playing Egypt. Now I think, and Canada's already in it, by the way, but Australia is playing Egypt. Canada, I guess maybe it's a little disrespectful of me that you're in the final 16, you're less than 1%, but you are. All right, to the pie, 1%. Belgium. I've been unimpressed. I thought they were a little lucky against Senegal, and they're going to lose to the U.S. I give them 1%.
Great take.
2%. Switzerland. Smooth sailings, and they've had a pretty nice path so far. They did steal home field advantage from Canada, which is one of the reasons Canada is on the less than 1% side. Switzerland, 2%. Now it gets a little more interesting. 3%. I'm going to see this team in person Sunday afternoon in New Jersey. Norway. I'm happy for them. Sadly, tough draw, as Brazil and the best defense in the tournament is going to hold Erling Haaland to 0 goals.
What?
They're not playing Spain.
They're not the best defense. Spain and Mexico haven't given up a goal.
Okay, yeah, you know what? I'm an expected goals guy. No, and I'm also it's still Spain and expected goals. I think they have the best defense in the tournament.
Wow.
And we'll see. We'll see, because here's the thing: the stats say Brazil has had a better offensive tournament than France. I don't think you believe that's the case. Again,
what's that?
they lead the whole tournament in expected
Who
goals.
scores the most?
They
Who
lead
scored the most goals though? Real goals.
Real goals.
Real goals might be Germany at this point because what they did to your Curacao team, they're out of the tournament. Again, KW, you didn't believe in Norway at all, and now you're tricking yourself into believing us.
I came back
because of
around
Brazil.
with the hat.
No, you came back around
wore a
because
Cowboys
you want to pick against Brazil every game. 4%, Colombia. Them getting a draw against Portugal looks even better now. I see Portugal beat Croatia for real. They are very well positioned to be Argentina's first real competition of the tournament. Like, if I'm Argentina, I'm a little worried. Like, man, Is the path too easy? More on them in a moment, and will we be ready to be at Colombia's level when we play them potentially in the quarterfinals? 5% down despite a win. England. Listen, thank God for Harry Kane. You were right. I was underrating. I had him in, not on the level of Haaland and Mbappe and Vinny Jr. Is that because he didn't have a Lego? It's partly. But he was spectacular and saved them. And our guy Fletch said he's the greatest English footballer ever. Just flatly said it. And so
most goals.
With that said, I think the rest of the team's been very underwhelming.
Very average.
And so even though they won, they are down to 5%. I also think they have a brutal game coming up. More on that in a second. 6%, Morocco. Man, Morocco's draw is just so tough. In the group stage, they had to play Brazil. In the round of 32, how about the Netherlands? And now they're staring down the barrel at France in the quarterfinals. I think they're an excellent team. And if they get past France, there's no reason they can't win the whole damn thing. But that's just a tough spot in the round. And by the way, little revenge spot. That was the semifinal in the World Cup in Qatar. 7%, Team USA. If not for Balogun's suspension, they would be higher. So we might have to do a revised title pie because.
Still think it's going to happen?
Well, I'm not saying the sports media ombudsman has influence, but I don't know. Did you open up today's Wall Street Journal? Let Balogun play, calling America's other national team. Lawyers, there's no chance of appeal to get the U.S. men's national team suspended, start back on the pitch versus Belgium, or is there? Exactly, media. Start pushing the pressure buttons to try to get Balogun out there. We have another 72 hours to get this done. If so, we'll do a revised title pie Monday.
Excellent.
In the meantime, they're 7%. 8%, Mexico. I cannot be more excited for this game. The 100,000 people. The biggest game in the history of Mexican soccer. The fact that Mexico, to KW's point, hasn't allowed a goal. They are flying high. The fact that England is scared to show up, doesn't know when to get there, doesn't know how they're going to breathe, doesn't know what they're going to eat. All of it. Oh, there you go.
In my notes.
There we go. Thank
In my
you.
notes.
So Mexico, 8%. It seems like I might be a little higher on this team than the group, even though I think I was the only person of the group that picked this team to lose yesterday. But I was impressed. Portugal, 9%. To me, in my brain, they've gone from written off to officially scary. And when Portugal has on their resume in the last couple years, in games that mattered, played France to a draw and lost in penalties in Euros. They beat Spain. They beat Germany in the Nations League. I understand Germany, stars dimmed a bit, but those are some of the, 8 best teams in the world. They've gone toe-to-toe with them. Interesting note, when they drew France in the quarters of the 2024 Euros and lost, all the write-ups after that game said, in what was assuredly Cristiano Ronaldo's final game with Portugal. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And a couple tournaments ago.
So just to be clear, you are completely flip-flopping just because the head coach is willing to sub out Ronaldo. That's the reason.
That is correct.
Okay.
10%, Spain. They're rounding into form. No one can score on them. They also, and we'll show this in a moment, have a very tough path all of a sudden. So that's why it's maybe not a larger percentage, but they're at 10%. 11%, Brazil. Unlike some of these other, they pulled it out of the fire at the end games we've seen in the round of 16, theirs came against a top 20 team in the world in Japan, a team that going into this tournament was higher ranked than the U.S. men's national team. Additionally, they have Norway this weekend in the sweltering heat that they are used to, and Norway is not. Rafinha then should be back, and when he's back, I believe they'll be playing Mexico, a Mexico team that hasn't played in the U.S. the whole tournament. And by the way, the flip side of always playing in that thin air at Estadio Azteca is they're going to be feel like they're running through a wind chamber against it. This thick air, we can't move. Brazil's going to be used to it. There's thick air.
That's not how.
Oh, really? Okay, well, it's thin air down there, so it must be thick air up here.
It's not.
Oh,
that's
really?
why you train at altitude.
Oh, I'm sorry?
That's why, like, you.
That's for your lungs. I'm talking about for your actual body. They're going to be like, what is this? Am I being pulled backwards? Just, oh, man, it's just regular air. You're used to that thin air. 16%. Argentina. It's unchanged because, oddly, since last Title Pie, they haven't played a meaningful game. They played one game. They had already clinched everything. Here is what they have going for them in just an insane way. Here is the teams remaining. Now, keep in mind, in their quadrant, path to the semis and their world rankings. Colombia's 11, Switzerland's 15, and Switzerland's advanced. Egypt 26, and then 28, 64, 65. Compare that to the world rankings of the other 4 quadrants, which already we know who the teams are. Spain's, well, that's pretty good. 3, 7, 9, 16. What's the next one? Hubs? France, 1, 6, 30 and 34, not so much, but it feels like France, Morocco, collision course. What about my guys in Brazil? What's their quadrant look like? England, Brazil, Mexico, Norway. So Argentina just earned the draw and got a little lucky with how the draw fell.
Definitely.
That helps them a ton. And at 18%, up a bit from the last week, is France. Did I skip one? Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
what happened to my
bonus 5?
I was like,
bonus 5.
I was looking at it. I was like, am I missing a slice? I was like, hold on a second. And there it is. Thank you. Great fix on the fly. 18% France. Here's what, Dax, I'll give it to you, but I think Vegas is right and wrong. Vegas has France as the favorites. I think that's correct. They should be. But according to the Vegas odds, France should have a 35% slice of the pie. And when their path to the World Cup title is going to likely be Morocco and then probably Spain just to get to the final, I don't think there's any team in this tournament that deserves, a better than 1 in heavy. Yeah, that deserves a better than 1 in 3 chance, even if they are the best team. That is the latest edition of Title Pie.
Now that I understand Title Pie, and now that I understand how it works, I don't have a ton of quibbles.
Thank you.
With it. Not a ton. I still think I'm done arguing with him about Brazil because at this point,
just keep
Brazil is looking like a team that absolutely can go on and win it. Now they won't.
Do you agree with me that the weather is a huge advantage for them Sunday against Norway?
I do.
If it's 90 degrees,
I do.
In the late afternoon.
Yeah, I do. I think there's something to that. But my biggest issue, I understand the path Morocco has to travel, but I think Morocco should be higher.
Really?
I think Morocco needs to be higher because of a couple different things. Now, listen, Josh, my guy over there, we're kind of going back and forth, confirmed, unconfirmed. This is one of the teams in world soccer that has the longest unbeaten streaks in the world. Okay. We're going upwards of 3 years now since the last time that
Nick is
living under Morocco. I like that a lot.
I always like when Brew, over the course of the segment, when his eyes finally go to the bar.
It's great.
But go ahead.
I actually just saw that as well, and I really like it.
The unbeaten streak.
But it's not just that. It's also the fact that, to your point earlier, they are battle tested already in this World Cup. And I love the fact that your favorite team, your favorite to win it, Morocco outplayed them, and it was only a draw, but they should have won. They should have beat Brazil. They knocked out Netherlands, and not just knocked them out, but in dramatic fashion, going through adversity. And the balance of their team, they're very well coached, and they have brought in a lot of younger players, but also players that are just squarely in their primes. They are well-balanced in attack and defense. I don't think they would be afraid. Now, don't want to look past Canada, but I expect Morocco to win that game. I don't think that they would be scared to play against France. I really don't. I want to pull up a graphic here of.
They played them in the semis last year.
Sure, exactly.
I always say last year.
I think if you want to beat France, you've got to do a couple of things well. You've got to be able to keep possession. You've got to be able to dictate the game so the French have to actually defend. And those front four who are so dangerous in the attack, you have to be able to make them chase, and you cannot let them just dictate the entire game. Their expected goal difference, obviously, I think I've already talked about the path that they've traveled here. The amount of goal scorers that they have, the amount of different ways that they can hurt you, the different ways and variables and variations with which they can attack. I also love Saibari. I think he is a breakout star in this tournament. We're not going to put him in the same category as Messi, Mbappe, Haaland, Kane. He's not there yet. But as far as strikers go who have impressed me the most in this tournament, it's absolutely Saibari.
Wow.
And they have a superstar in Achraf Hakimi,
Yeah.
who dictated a very good team in the Netherlands, completely changing all of their tactics and completely throwing everything that they believe in out the window just to stop him.
Yeah.
If Morocco played France, I would pick France to win that game, but I think it would be a close game. I think it would be not a toss-up, but it would be Morocco. They would have a real chance to win that game, and if they win that game, I think it's a very, very realistic possibility that they play Spain. And then, I don't pick them against Spain either, but I just think we're
losing the plot.
We're undervaluing. We're underestimating Morocco a little bit too much.
My dream left side of the bracket is a Morocco-U.S. semifinal.
What?
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
You start off hot on Morocco, and then you started to sell your stock late.
Yeah, because they do have a tough path. They do have a tough path. It is the path.
Go ahead,
it is the
bro.
path.
I'll be quick. Portugal should move down. They're playing Spain next. They're losing that game.
Wow. Yep.
And, I mean,
that's pretty
Spain,
simple.
I think Spain has the best defense in the tournament. And then Spain, we talked, Dax, I said this earlier, about France possibly having a weakness in their defense, right? Spain, I don't think has a weakness. Their front line isn't as good as France's, but it's very good. And Yamal, I think, is getting better and better each game. That defense is strong. So I think Portugal is done. They've played their last game this tournament, and Ronaldo has played his last World Cup.
Man.
Well, they won their last game. They've won their last game.
Won their last game.
They do get to play.
Won their last game, and Ronaldo.
Bruce saying they shouldn't even show up.
I like
Ronaldo has scored his last goal in the World Cup.
Out on Portugal.
But at least he got his knockout round goal.
Yes, that's
KW.
Well, when this World Cup started, Dax, we all had to pick teams. And I cast my lot with the red, white, and blue, obviously.
all of
France.
Well, yeah, but me the most,
right,
I think. And the red, white, and blue of France. But our friends from the Revolution. I Curacao, of course.
Cape Verde,
David and Goliath. And then finally, just because nobody really wanted them, England. I said, ooh, Harry Kane. At least you liked Tottenham when Harry Kane was on the Spurs. And then I have slowly lost faith in the English.
You think?
Yes, I do. Harry Kane just saved the day against DR Congo. In the first halves, England is collectively over the World Cup down 3-2. Second half, they come on, they win 6-0. Now, they drew against Ghana, not great, and they were like, that's what we do, we draw. Like, geez, this is not the winning mentality. Now they're going into Mexico City, as Nick talked about. We don't quite know when they're getting there. Mexico at Estadio Azteca. They just beat Ecuador 2-0. They haven't lost in 26 matches. Since the place opened, there's been 89 international matches there. They're 70-17-2.
Scary.
In games that we've decided, like yesterday, it touched my hair. That's how close these matches are. You can't. England won't be able to breathe.
Yeah.
They're like, we're not going to be able to breathe. And is the manager saying anything? Like, well, maybe we'll try our best. Like, no, it's just impossible. And it's been underrated because we always talk about it as sort of like playing the Nuggets. Like, breath is a kind of an issue. Yep. It's also a combination of that and like playing against the Rockies. You can't judge the ball. The ball, they say, is going about 5 yards further on long shots.
And it's smoggy.
And it's small.
Like, no, for real, as far as the breathing
it's loud.
goes. Like, all of it.
Final. So what is the English manager's Thomas Tuchel's strategic rallying cry? Have you heard this? No. The soccer gods owe us one, basically. 2 goals against England, one that was dribbling and one that would never stand these days. It will reward us. This goes back. We will get it back. It's karma. Karma will come back for us. We will turn it around because Maradona had a hand of God goal. Yeah. So England's like, we'll win this one. Why?
Do you have some good strategy? No. Basically, Argentina, who were not playing, cheated in this building. Shout out to the camel ad as well. Yeah. Old school. I don't think they win. I think Mexico is unbeatable here. So I'm out on England.
Tournament. I agree.
Quick idea for England.
Let's hear it.
Steal some ideas from the NFL. You know how when the linemen are all tired and they got to have oxygen on the sideline?
Are you allowed to do that?
I don't know, but during the hydration break, let's get all the English starting 11, oxygen mask, bam.
Where's that? I'm just curious.
I'm in.
Are they importing that from England,
that.
or are they asking some Mexican hospital to bring them oxygen? I got to tell you who they're rooting for. This is a home field advantage in the World Cup matters.
We are counting down to Australia, Egypt on Fox, 2 hours and 35 minutes. This one is from Dallas. Dax, what's your prediction for this one?
Egypt in a very low-scoring game, 1-0.
Very low scoring.
1-0. 1-0.
Wow. 2 hours, 35 minutes. Well, first things first after the break.
Queen Carvania stood haloed by the morning sun. An army hung on her every word.
My champions, I have sold my chariot on Carvana. 'Twas a lovely SUV, an inexplicably queenly offer. They're even coming to the castle to collect it. Tonight, we feast. An offer you can feast on. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Welcome back to First Things First. Fox has got you covered throughout the World Cup. James Corden will have Ray Romano on, and of course, Jameis Winston is on our YouTube. Jameis has just been crushing this.
Yeah.
They're doing a fantastic. We should get Jameis on after World Cup, maybe World Cup Monday, since it'll be here. And we're counting down 10 hours and 1 minute to Colombia, Ghana on Fox, live from Kansas City. Joe's Kansas City. I've never been to Joe's barbecue.
No, it's over. It's on the Kansas side, and what's funny is before it got famous, it was called Oklahoma Joe's, and it's just barbecue in a gas station. But it was one of the best in the city, and they flipped.
But it was in Kansas.
It's on the Kansas side of the state line. Yeah.
But it was called Oklahoma.
It was called Oklahoma Joe's. Now it's called Joe's Kansas City.
Huh, interesting. Luka's got a new LeBron-less team. The Athletic saying he's excited about the squad, which features a re-signed Austin Reeves, newly acquired Walker Kessler, Quentin Grimes, Colin Sexton, and Raptors big man Sandro Kalashvili.
I am going to take the under on that being right.
Yeah. I call him Mamu.
Me too. Also, some rumors that
I called him Mamu Shadashvili, and I'm just because I feel like when you say Shadashvili, people assume you're right.
They might add Jonathan Kuminga.
That would be great.
That's a rumor. Bruce, should Lakers fans be happy with the move so far?
I believe so. Obviously, you lost LeBron, but you weren't going to win the championship with LeBron on that roster. And so why not move on from a 41-year-old and start building this team around Luka? And they did build, in my view, the type of team you need to put around Luka Doncic. They got a rim-protecting, rim-finishing big in Walker Kessler. Also can step out occasionally and hit the three. They got athletes, more athletic on the wing and some shooting. In Quentin Grimes, he's athletic, can shoot. Colin Sexton, same thing. And then the rookie, we'll see how much he plays, but Cameron Carr is projecting to be a 3-and-D guy. So all three of those guys have athleticism. If they could get Jonathan Kuminga, I think this is really, considering what was out there, I think this would be a fantastic job by them in putting a team around Luka. Now, do I think they're going to win the West? No. But you now have a team that fits around Luka Doncic, and you can play the way you're going to play for the next few years.
So this is where I disagree with you, Brew. Because you said you start to build a team around Luka. Because of what they had to do as far as what they paid Austin, what they paid Kessler, and what they gave up for Kessler in the trade, they just started and finished building a team around Luka. This is going to be the team.
Well, you can make trades.
But again,
you don't have draft picks.
No. They have no draft picks available to lubricate trades. And so, I still look at this team, and I don't think there's anyone in the media that likes Quentin Grimes more than me. I've said it 100 times on the show. He and my son played basketball together in Houston, and when he was the youngest kid on the team at 15 years old, it was clear he was going to be an NBA player. And I'm so happy for him that he has continued to ascend and has got a contract. If he is your best, which he is, on-ball defender, you're still shy about 3 on-ball defenders in the Western Conference. Like when you're playing,
Sexton can be a pretty good.
I am as high as I am on Grimes. I'm probably maybe lower than most on Sexton. I just still don't know when you play the Wolves, who's guarding Ant. When you play the Thunder, who's guarding Shea. When you play the Spurs, who's guarding a litany of their guys. And they are trying to create a team in the image of that Mavs 2024 team, which I understand. I don't know where P.J. Washington is on this team, and I don't think they have him. And he was super important. Walker Kessler, it's just a huge roll of the dice and a heavy price for a guy who played 5 games last year. But
he's been productive when he's played.
I like him, but I also don't think he is, I think that he's probably not one of the 8 best centers in the league, and he is going to be like, you gave him a 4-year deal and you traded 4 draft picks for him, 2 picks and 2 swaps. This is going to be your squad. And I just wonder, if I were a Lakers fan, which as of a couple days ago, I no longer am.
Are you done?
I was never a Lakers fan. I'm a LeBron fan. I'm not. I'm very open and honest about that. That was a arranged marriage that thankfully is over.
Can I just again, not to be disagreeable.
Sure.
For a while, you were calling.
I love Luka.
And he's on the Lakers.
No, I can love individual
like you're
players.
kind of out on the Lakers.
But I was never. Did you ever think I was a Mavs fan, or that I was a Luka fan?
No, I think you rocked with the Mavs.
I rock with Luka, but the team until from the day I graduated high school until whenever LeBron retires. If you ask me what team I'm a fan on, it's team LeBron's on. People can make fun of it. I don't care. It's just the truth. Kansas City didn't have a team. And so I just think that they are locked into pretty good. And I don't see how they get to great.
Could be a top 4 seed.
Well, what's interesting is
that's up to Luka.
Yes, and what's interesting is the West is in a spot where it's like the 2 best teams are pretty defined. And then you could make a case for 6 teams to be 3rd, and they're one of them. Right. But I just don't see how they break
through those top 2.
That's
going to be a challenge.
Luka, Brew, before the show, you were talking about the sneaky athleticism of the Lakers.
Well, look, it's become a big deal. Their 3 best players projected. Obviously, their best 2 are Luka and Austin Reeves. Yeah. Walker Kessler looks like he could be 3rd.
And he certainly is the 3 highest paid.
Yeah, 3 highest paid are white.
Yeah.
And that's become a big deal in some circles. Here's what I would say, because some are saying they can't, making fun of them, they can't win with your 3 best guys being white. Look, historically, and what I consider modern basketball, the Celtics of '86, who were one of the best teams ever, arguably the best team ever, with Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Isaiah Thomas, all these guys in the league. The league was 70 to 80%, 75% black then.
Yep.
And the Boston Celtics started 3 white guys, Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and Danny Ainge.
And 6th man.
Won the championship. Not only the 6th man, 7th man, Jerry Sheesting. 8th man, Scott Webber.
And 6th man, Bill Walton.
6 of their best 8 players were white. And so that's his history. Some people say, oh, that's not today. Actually, today, it's getting like white players are balling. Things have changed, all right?
It sounds so ridiculous.
Nikola, who's the best player in the world by most people's standards, I've said Wemby, but most people say Nikola Jokic.
Sure.
He's white, all right? The number 1 draft pick last year, Cooper, white American. Look. If 15 years ago, a lot of the sentiment, even maybe 10 years ago, would have been you can't start 3 white guys and be a great team. I had a white GM tell me once, 15, 20 years ago, I'd never draft a white American player in the lottery. white guys.
Well, there was a long stretch of white American players being lottery busts. That is true.
Yeah,
Kevin Love
absolutely.
broke it. That is like, you can go through the draft history. That part's true.
But Cooper Flagg was
doubt.
rookie of the year. Who was second? Con Knipple, another white guy, second rookie of the year. And not to mention this. Let me see this photo. That's Serbia.
Yeah, that is.
Nothing but white dudes on that team. And they were up on LeBron, Steph, Durant, Embiid, all our best players by 13 going into the fourth quarter of the 2024 Olympic semifinal. And USA came back and won by 4 in a dramatic comeback. That's not even to mention Lithuania and Argentina that beat us in 2004 with LeBron. I know they weren't playing much. Carmelo, all these guys on the team. So things are changing. And I think it's because white American players at a much younger age are playing with black players. If you're a really good white player, you're playing with black players, AAU, you're traveling, all that stuff. You get used to the speed of the game, the jumping ability, all that stuff. Whereas years ago, you might be great playing in your state or your city or your suburb, and you weren't consistently playing with African-American players. I think the three-point shot has changed it and its skill. So if you can develop that skill, regardless of race, you can be really good. And I do think the international, we're seeing these international white players have incredible success against black players, and that's got to be giving confidence to white players.
I agree with all that. It's also a little odd.
It's unique today, but we'll see how unique it is.
It's been a long time.
Is Brazil on upset alert? This countdown is in 2 days, 4 hours, 22 minutes. It's the last game in New York/New Jersey until the final. Messi in Miami, 6 hours, 18 minutes, taking on Cape Verde in a David and Goliath matchup that no one believes in Cape Verde. Dax doesn't believe in Cape Verde. Nick certainly doesn't believe in Cape Verde. Brew, I've started to sway him a little bit with my David and Goliath talk. I'm just trying. We get to PKs and see what happens.
Not getting to PKs, buddy.
Well, is Argentina and Spain in the same category?
No.
They're not?
No, I decided just now.
You gotta stop.
Touche then. My argument's over. Huge games this weekend. Brazil.
Oh my God.
Taking on Erling Haaland and Norway right across the river. Mexico hosting England, where they are very tough to beat in Mexico City. Yeah. We'll start with you, Dax. Who is on upset alert? Brazil, England, or the rare, both teams, or the even more rare and ruin the segment really, no one.
England. England is on massive upset alert. I actually asked you guys before we came on, like, is England even the favorite in this game?
They are.
Because I get it, but I guess I don't get it. Like, if you were watching the World Cup, I feel very similarly about England as I do about the US-Belgium game. Like, traditionally, you would understand if Belgium was going to be the favorite against the U.S. men's national team. Like, I would understand that based on history, based on quality of players, all that. But if you actually have watched this tournament, the U.S. has been fantastic, and Belgium hasn't been very impressive. I feel the exact same way about this Mexico-England game. Mexico's been unbelievable. Mm-hmm. In fact, you would argue a couple months ago, this is one of the worst Mexico teams that we have seen for years. And now, in the World Cup, they've only won every single game they've played in and haven't conceded a goal in the process. And so, context matters. Their group wasn't very strong, and they played against an Ecuador team that was clearly overmatched, but a team that I thought could beat Mexico. The history at Azteca, the statistics behind it, it's almost this mythical dragon of a beast that you can't go in there and win. And now, with all the comments we've already seen from Tuchel, it's almost like he's manifesting them to have a built-in excuse for why they are going to lose. So I don't love where England's at. I don't love how they have played in this tournament. I don't really love the balance that they have in the backline or in midfield. But they do have Harry Kane. That is kind of the only way. I'm not making a choice yet in terms of who I'm picking to win, but
Oh, I am.
I got to be honest. I see this as England. I can't believe they're favorites. I think Mexico should be favored to win this game.
I had a question, but you can go. I'm surprised we're talking about England and Harry Kane like we're talking about Norway and Holland. That I thought England was
like that Bellingham hasn't been.
Yeah, that I haven't
Bellingham
seen
has
anybody
been
really
fine, But England's wingers and central midfield have been very pedestrian in this entire tournament. The wingers aren't really creating a ton of chances for Kane. Anthony Gordon subbed on and got 2 assists, but before that, they weren't all that impressive. They had one half where Rashford scored and Saka looked good against second half of Croatia, but it hasn't been near consistent enough. They don't really have a creator in midfield. I just don't love how England has played for the majority of this World Cup.
And so listen, when we did our brackets, I had Mexico winning this game, and so I think England is going to get upset. I also think that Brazil is very fortunate in their matchup here. Norway's not that good. Norway, you agreed with me on this until they were about to play Brazil. Wow.
I thought Norway was going to lose to Ivory Coast.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And so did you. And so I would like to, because I think the reason you added or both is because you want to make the case as to why Brazil's going to lose. So I just would love, before we hit the weekend, for you to do that.
I do not think Brazil's defense is as strong as you've made it out to be. And I think Holland is an unstoppable goal-scoring force. And most of my Cape Verde over Norway prediction was me being mad at Norway for benching everyone against France. But it turns out I was wrong. The strategy was right, and they were able to get the win.
So Hubs, can we just pull back from the A block, those expected goals graphics? This is why I think that it's the Brazil, whether I'm arguing with you or our pal Darren Fletcher, the Brazil discourse has been disconnected from their performance in the tournament. They lead the tournament in expected goals. They are top 5 in the tournament in expected goals allowed. They are second in the tournament. So there they are. That's their offense. So
I just don't think that, with all due respect, I don't think anyone has watched these games and thinks that Brazil's offense has looked more impressive than France.
Again,
I'm just telling you I don't think anyone on literally planet Earth who watched all of these games, you know what? I think Brazil has played a more impressive offensive game than France.
KW, I don't actually disagree with you.
Okay.
I'm just telling you wherever they are, I don't know if we can show the next one or not, wherever they are in your eye test and what you feel, this is what I'm saying where they are in reality. And so now here we have the best defensive performances in this tournament. Spain's been the best, Brazil's in line, and then we have difference. And again, the Canada's the outlier there,
Go Canada.
Will, because of the Qatar game. Sure. And so what you're not seeing anywhere on any of these graphics is Norway. And I think there is, but you did see Mexico on England too. And you do see England. And so I think that I'm just curious how far in the tournament Brazil's going to have to get to where they are discussed on par with all the teams that they have played on par with.
The final.
They had to win it.